Okay, so in this next video what we're going to do is look at Reaction Records. Reaction Records was obviously an extension of the Ebony empire, if you like. In '87 they changed the name from Ebony Records to Reaction Records. For reasons unknown, I've not really sort of got to the bottom of that as of yet. Maybe because it was just a new direction for Ebony. They was going into all sorts of different genres, which they'd only sort of dipped the toe in the pond with, like Synthetic Romance and the Sample and Hold albums and the what do you want to say about the Dolly Parton Tits record, the Country and Western Sleaze 7-inch, which is down here somewhere, I think. Is it? Yeah, there we go. The Pete Ryan Band. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent there. So what we're going to do is just going to look at Reaction Records, because it's just so fucking hard to find any information on this record label whatsoever. Be it even just press cuttings, reviews, etc. I'm probably looking in the wrong places, because I'm predominantly a new wave British heavy metal, sort of rock sort of orientated. That's what I collect. It's what I have a passion for. And the Reaction label, it tends to be sort of, well, it's just so eclectic, it's untrue. There's power pop, there's punk, there's songs about pot noodles, believe it or not. There's all sorts there, but they also did release some rock and metal in the latter years when they changed to Reaction. So I'm just going to basically go through these, hopefully sort of jog someone's memory, someone can throw some information out there on some of these obscure bands, so when we come to do the documentary and later on the book, we can sort of just go in depth as possible, because it's never going to happen again, another documentary or book on Ebony. Well, hopefully this will discover everything that we need to discover, unless then we can go into it again, who knows. But with the book, I want to try and just really nail it and sort of find out a little bit more about these bands, because even though some of them may have only had one song in here, each band has a little history, and it'd be just interesting to piece that together. And it's just another part of the Ebony Records puzzle, which is just fascinating. And this area is a good area sort of for collectors and stuff, because it's just fucking, no one knows anything about it. We don't know what records are out there. I mean, I think the early, I've got the first Reaction Records, UNREST 1, and the latest one I've got is UNREST 15. I think I've got about 8 or 9 records on all. I'm aware of other records, I've just not been able to track them down as of yet. So we'll have a look through this then. Okay, first up we got Underground Resistance. This is the first release on the label. This is volume 1, obviously. And on here we've got some pretty obscure names. It's a, like I say, it's a real eclectic mix here. So we've got Time to Kill, we've got a page on MySpace, and I'm going to get in contact with them eventually. But at least that's sort of one band out there. And then so I'm just going to throw these names out and just see if anyone can sort of give us any information on them, basically. So we've got Beguiled, there's a track called Another Day, and then Death Warmed Up, another band called the Parasites, Hands of a Virgin, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Coprolalia. There we go, it's as good as it's going to get. Then next up we've got Company of Thieves, and then last on the A side is Son of Ina, or Ina, whichever you prefer. On the B side we've got The Presidents, we've got The Garden Shed, The Feel, The Beguiled, Cocktail Mentality, Futile Coats, Afterhours, and Straight to the Point. So that's the first release, UNREST 1, like I say, 1987. So let's go on. Force, and this is probably a good one for new wave British heavy metal, or post new wave British heavy metal collectors and rock collectors. It's probably the most difficult to track down on the label. Well, it was for me anyway. And this is got rock and metal on it. It's a decent album, well worth picking up. And this was released in 1988. So they only released one. So I'm guessing the Underground Resistance Volume 1 was released at the tail end of '87. So on here you've got, there's a few bands. I mean, some of them you probably already know. First of all we've got Talisman, we've got Deja Vu, A Pile of Aces, Various Areas, Custom Pink, Tarot, and this is another one I'm not going to pronounce fucking right, Ekron, Thema or Thama, answers on a postcard, and last on A side is Heartstone. On the B side we've got Serious Chaos, we've got Geneva, Godspeed, The Flash, Crushed Orchid, Troubleshooters, and Rum, spelled R-U-M-M. Why, I don't know. Quite well known bands on here actually, not just metal orientated obviously, but we've got Daz Tor, we've got Deadly Intentions, we've got the Nearly Band, which is quite apt for a lot of these the records. We've got First Offence, who I'm thinking it was this same band who put an album, Metal Over Records. Again, if you know different, let us know. Thrilled Skinny, who released quite a number of records. We've got Technique, Trees, Innocent Elements, Die Laughing, we're on the B side now, Die Laughing, Bad Blood, Temper Temper, Berlin Zoo, The Rout, The Eternal, and Shakedown. And as you've probably noticed, the sort of artwork of the old Ebony records is gone, and it's sort of a generic sleeve which sums up the Reaction label. They're all pretty much, I mean, Full Force, just I probably should have mentioned earlier, the Full Force, if you remember, that's the label for the Criminal Response record. They released five albums on the sub-label in '85, and that was the logo for the Criminal Response, so it's got recycled, so it's all good.